isn't correct. So obviously, slide it back in there. It looks correct. Holes line up. Simple. We have our floor plate or bottom metal, in this case bottom plastic. In this case it's for a detachable magazine. Here's the magazine here. In the case of a lot of firearms, they have what's just called a floor plate, where they have an internal magazine, and the principle is the same, but the magazine is no longer detachable. In that case, the assembly of the floor plate is the same, it's just that our magazine is internal rather than, you got a knife?
Not on me.
I think I got one.
Extremely well.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
So, quick question with this. You say it's a rust preventer. If you've already got rust on your gun, is it still worth?
You've got to take the rust off first.
No.
Got to take the rust off. Which brings us to this coil. If you buy an older blue firearm that's got rust on, you get some steel wool. Do you know, anyone know what steel wool is? A few drops of this on the steel wool and start rubbing the rust off. And with your cloth, wipe it off after that. The only thing, if you're going to use Ezox, is you've got to get all traces of other oils off the stock, off the metal, because this bonds it in the molecular level. Right, okay, so we've got that, we've got our bottom metal, we're going to flip the rifle over. Drop it in. And start doing the screws up. One thing I would recommend when you do this is actually put some torque on this to get it in. Two things people do when they're assembling rifles is they don't do the screws up tight enough or they over tighten them. Doing them to the right torque setting is quite important. And even more important with scopes and scope rings. I don't know how many times I have seen in my life people come in and they say I need a new set of rings or there's a problem with my scope or something, and they've crushed the tube of the scope by doing the scope rings up too tight. Honestly, I don't see it on a weekly basis, but I do see it on a monthly basis in the shop. We'll have a bad day with this, sorry.
And so then what happens? Do they have to buy a brand new one?
Sometimes the scopes are still usable, sometimes they're not. What often happens